called, wait for it, Right, Said Fred. And he's given a humorous take on living through the pandemic. Delighted to say that he joins us now.
You haven't been able
breakfast.
to watch him, Dan, while you're reading the introduction. Having a nice cup of tea, Freddie. Morning.
Yeah, I'm just having my brew this morning. I'm glad you like the title. It's original, isn't it?
Is that your idea? Did someone else come up with that, Fred?
I was going to put a white vest on this morning for you, Dan, and do a bit of singing, but I thought, no, better not.
Talk us through your tea. What have you got in there? Is it just a little splash of milk and a bit of sugar? How do you take it?
I've got a coffee this morning, Dan. I need caffeine. I don't even know if I like coffee. I like caffeine. It wakes me up.
You can have it in tea as well, you know. It's lovely to talk to you. So tell us about... So this, you wrote the book during lockdown, did you?
I did, yeah. And it's just the musings of what goes on in my head. And I've got to tell you, it can be a busy place at times. And it covers everything from sports or social media to TV to a bit of parenting to all sorts, to be honest with you. A lot of it's tongue-in-cheek, and some of it, other stuff's a bit more serious.
Let's talk about the social media, because you're mostly out, aren't you? Would that be a fair assessment of your relationship with social media?
Well, I've got a love-hate relationship with it. I know I've got to do it sometimes, you know, when you're pushing something like a book. But then there's a lot of the time where you start writing something, you think, well, why am I doing this? Who's this for? What's the point of this? And you see people out there just constantly trying to get attention from it all. It's a strange place.
You remember, Fred, when we were allowed guests on this sofa, remember you came in with Robbie Savage and Matthew Syed when you were doing that podcast for Radio 5. And I think lots of people who listen to you on there will have heard you have, you know, quite strong opinions on various topics. Do you think a platform like that enabled you to sort of share those opinions with the world, and actually people are interested in what you've got to say about things outside of cricket and outside of, you know, the things that we'd normally associate with you?
Well, I think the podcast is a great vehicle for that. You know, you can say what you want and you can get stuff across like you rightly say. But you know what? I don't tend to enter into conversations I don't know too much about. I don't have opinions on a lot of things, and I think this book was just a way to get a load of stuff that's in my head out there. And hopefully people read it, agree with it, and, you know, have a chuckle along the way as well. Yeah,
I certainly chuckled quite a lot of it. Things you said about, for example, coronavirus has made me, question my usefulness.
Yeah, I'm pointless. Well, you are, aren't you? You look at it, and you're all sat down in lockdown, and we're seeing all the people, and the world's still turning due to the nurses, the doctors, the NHS staff, to bin men. And all these people who think they're so important and got all these followers on social media deemed pretty much useless. I was sat in my house for weeks. You know, you try and get involved in what you can, but essentially, we're not good to anyone, are we? You know, there's far more important people out there.
Good positive message in the book then, Fred. But what were you like as a homeschooler?
Do you know what? I was so lucky. The schools the kids go to, they had to log on every morning. The kids were mortified at 9:15. They couldn't log off till 4:45. So I could just go on about my business. The kids were in the study working all day, and I was just left to entertain myself because my kids are 16, 14, 12. Can't help them when it comes to schooling. I got to Google it. And I've got a 10-month-old as well who, you know, I'm all right with him at the minute, but it's gonna pass quick.
Yeah. Should we also talk about a little bit about Top Gear, because it's back on, and the producers really, Freddie, like to test you. We're going to have a little look at a clip from I'm sure lots of people saw it, but this is last night's episode, where you quite terrifyingly attempt to drive the monstrous wall of death. We'll have a look.
Ready, Freddie?